Look alive, fringers.
It's 2099 and we are live and loud in the underground. From the streets to the scar. Keep your chip hidden, your gun loaded, and never trade your soul for souls.
Turn it up and let them know.
Big Brother is watching. Time to put on a show.
Welcome to episode 14 of Neon Trails and Identico Actual Play. I am your game runner, the Caleb G. It's real cold pretty much everywhere in the country, so I hope you're taking care of yourself and staying warm. We are here to have some fun and keep things hot. Speaking of hot, let's send a big happy birthday to Michael, longtime Identico performer, and just generally a wonderful human. Speaking of wonderful humans, let's say hello to a few more on our cast who always get to where they're going by walking away from where they've been. First up, some people care too much. I think it's called love. It's Mallo playing Galen.
Is it caring too much and then about 15 things at the same time? Hashtag ADHD problems? Yes, I believe so. I believe so. Yes.
Absolutely. Hello. Yes. Next up, people say nothing is impossible, but she does nothing every day. It's Wild playing B.
I thought that was going to be way more inspirational, but I didn't think it was going to be a call out instead.
It's a little bit of both. It's got little column A, little column B.
It was very nice. Very nice. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
I'm happy to see your faces.
Nobody can be uncheered with a balloon. It's Pete playing dog.
Yeah, here. Get it started. Hey, you too. Feel free to comment butts if you like. Leave it. Do it. Thanks.
We dream so we don't have to be apart for so long. If we're in each other's dreams, we can be together all the time. It's Lauren playing Drall.
Hello and good evening. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you so much.
And you're braver than you believe, stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think. It's Ethan playing Mox.
Is it bad that every time you get to me with these really fun little intro quotes, I just expect after a very, in-depth one for Lauren and Ethan?
I try to mix it up. I try to mix it up. I want to keep everybody on their toes here. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way. Identico is live every Tuesday on twitch.tv/Identico. We are alternating games of, at this point, TBD, something new. It used to be Chaos Incorporated and Neon Trails every week at 6 or 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, swing over to twitch.tv/Humanoid HQ for the weekly Super Show, where Alex and Mallo dig into all things related to your favorite games, shows, music, and movies. I expect we're going to have a discussion of the new Bad Batch trailer coming up here quick. You can see episodes, archives, how to play videos, clips over at youtube.com/Identico or Humanoid HQ. Be sure to subscribe, leave us some comments. Tell us what you like to do on your birthday. What treats do you like? What do you like to do with your cake? Does it involve sitting? That's okay. No kink shaming. Whatever you want to do. It's your birthday. Please follow us on the socials for announcements and news. I don't know what happened there. Kind of got carried away in the moment. It was fun.
It is my child's birthday today, so very appropriate.
We're already unhinged and we haven't even started the game. This is great. Swing over to the socials. Look for us at Identico and Humanoid Games wherever whatever social platform you happen to be using. And while you're online, if the socials are boring, swing over to playidentico.com where you can read the basic core rules for free, pick up the book, pick up the Good Doctor, look for stickers, merch, whatever else just happens to pop in. If you are live right now, throw us some channel points. I know everyone has a few rerolls. I feel like we're going to see some rolling tonight and maybe need them. So maybe throw a couple extras at our folks here. And check out Greenleaf Geek for some cool dice. I believe their backer kit is happening right now for the neon dice.
I believe so. I believe it's only got a couple of days left.
Ooh, jump on that, please. And thank you. Mallo, anything else to share before we get started tonight?
We will be at Emerald City Comic Con starting February 29th through March 3rd. We will be on the main show floor like we were last year, so come and check us out. You may see some familiar faces there. Not just me, but some other familiar faces there hanging out with us for the weekend. And we actually have a little bit of new merch just to show off for that particular one that will be there. It's called Nerd Shit, and it's one of our stickers that we will have there. So come check us out from there and come say hello and do fun things with us.
That will be a great time. And now, let's remember what happened last time here on Neon Trails. The crew made the long drive to their job's location. Along the way, they passed a variety of wasteland citizens and drove through the looming shadow of the Santa Fe Metroplex. After piecing together rumors, memories, and intel from Paperboy, the crew figured out that their job was at an abandoned detention black site, and that Hicks, the street doc that had hired them, probably used to work there. They debated what to do if the former prison was inhabited by the former prisoners. Arriving at the site, the crew found evidence of a massive fight. The ground was littered with broken rofs and shattered body armor. Destroyed auto turrets hung from the building, which was covered in mutated carnivorous vines. Ow, 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 ow. The crew decided on trying to enter the site from the back, but had to deal with both the vines and a minefield. So they prepared some peaceful Molotov cocktails to handle the plants and explosive arrows to handle the door. In fact, we ended that episode right as B had taken a careful shot with her explosive arrows that were zhuzhed up with some C4. The arrow connects solidly with the plant and the door. The resulting explosion, the pressure wave blows y'all back a little bit. It's a big explosion. Some of the mines get set off, so there's kind of a cascading effect here. So kind of like dominoes, explosive dominoes. So everyone gets a whole bunch of dust in their eyes as this happens. The plant that was the target of this attack at the door there, the giant pod is what B had been aiming at. It was surrounded by the little vines, or big vines in this case. It is caught in the middle of the explosion, which of course is intensified by some of these other mines going off, amidst the blaze of the Molotov cocktails that had all been more or less expertly thrown. So there is just a cacophony of noise and explosions and heat and pressure waves. It's a mess, y'all. It is a big mess. But after a few minutes, the wall of dust and smoke clears a little bit, and you can see that the plant friend, which was kind of creeping up the building, has fallen over and is kind of thump on the ground. And all of the big vines that had surrounded it are also sitting there limply. There's no motion in any of them. And also, there is a good-sized hole punched in this giant garage door that y'all were looking at.
That was so cool.
Wasn't it? still got some dirt in my mouth from cheers
Good
still
boy,
out.
it'll put some hair on your chest. It's good.
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, see, that's the problem. It's all dusty now. But I'm gonna go get some of these plant clippings. I think the mines got cleared out, so I'm gonna go and get some clippings of these plants, and we should go on in, yeah?
That's what you're doing right now? You're collecting plant samples?
Well, I was making them not hostile, and now I can take some
I'm noticing a trend with you, B, that everywhere we go, we encounter something, and I'm not saying this in a bad way, for the record. Everywhere we go, we encounter something that wants to kill us, right? That's the usual. And you managed to find a way to turn it into a pet.
Yeah, isn't that? I like friends, and I also like deadly friends. I just think it's real neat to be surrounded by things that could either kill me or protect me. It's great. It makes life real fun.
I identify with that.
Have you ever played that game from back in the day called Pal World? See, they took these really cute people and then they gave them guns. It was a brilliant fucking game, if you ask me.
Timely.
Topical.
We bring it all here on the show.
I didn't expect that one. Broke
For
me.
what
All
it's
right.
worth, I admire it about you, B, genuinely. I mean, my usual MO is just blow them up and then there's nothing left to make friends with, So I respect it.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that, and I guess I guess it kind of explains why I have you guys as friends too. You're all lethal in some way too.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I mean, most of us.
Points over at Drall.
Oh no, you ain't seen Drall.
It's all in here.
You ain't seen Drall without her coffee in the morning. That is terrifying.
Is it like she hulks out? Maybe we should just deprive her of it. Maybe before a mission, no caffeine.
Well.
Not for us, for her.
All right.
All right. So, who is only B approaching the door? Is everybody gonna trot through the explosive debris?
Single file lines.
Explosive debris or exploded debris?
A little column A, little column B.
Okay.
All right.
Sure, let's do it.
Single file lines, everybody. Single file lines.
Very daintily stepping over things.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Single file, gonna walk through. Dog, as we walk through, is gonna kind of like swivel head the turrets and look at them like,
So you can see that the turrets are both thoroughly used and thoroughly destroyed. So you can tell that whatever riot fight broke out those years ago obviously spilled to the outside of this facility, and the detention crew had used these auto turrets to good effect, but they were very much spent, and beyond whatever damage occurred during the fight, a lot of these vines have crept their way up and entwined themselves around the workings, the barrels, the gears, all that kind of stuff. It would not be impossible to salvage them, but it would be tricky.
Dog's gonna look. Well, gang, I guess it looks like whatever riot broke out all these years ago really did a number on these turrets, and they were thoroughly used to take care of everything going on here. The vines have creeped up on it and some age and everything, but they can maybe be salvaged. I don't know. We can try it out though. Just food for thought.
But you want to take them?
I mean, the bagel could use some defense. right? I mean, am I speaking out of school?
No, if there's anything to salvage here, I'm 100% for it.
I mean, we didn't say that we just gotta get stuff for him.
You know what, babe? I've been thinking the same thing. In my opinion, that shopping list also doubles as a what we can't keep for ourselves list.
There you go.
And you're 100% right, because the point that was made in the job was anything you salvage beyond the list is yours to keep, along with the payday from Hicks.
All right, boys and girls, keep your eyes open for anything we can use to improve the Windy Bagel, or maybe make some upgrades on our dear drones here.
I'll make a list.
And who is leading the line? Who's first?
I mean, Galen will walk first. He don't mind.
All right.
I'll tag along second.
Okay. Mallo, I'm going to have you make a call here. I'd like you to roll a d20.
Okay.
And then I would like you to tell me if your roll is higher or lower than my roll.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's lower.
You walk forward through the sand, which has been kind of glassed over by the heat and the explosion. You can see easily the remnants of makeshift explosive devices that have just been like chucked into this minefield, barely covered with any sand. A lot of that sand has been blown away by the explosion that just occurred. And as you see one or two of them, your eye quickly kind of peripherally looks ahead of you and around you, and you can see some of the telltale bumps in the sand, the placements in the sand, and moving slowly and carefully, you are able to make your way to the door without any incidents.
Okay.
As you get to the door, you get that everything's still smoldering. The fire hasn't gone out. It's like a really hot barbecue, but instead of meat or meat substitute, it's just like vegetable matter. So you've got that scent of like a campfire, but it's like really green wood.
Yeah, it's like a vegan barbecue.
Yeah, vegan barbecue. Good call. As you get a little bit closer, you see that these vines are kind of crisscrossed around your path. They're easy to climb over. None of them are amazingly thick, but they are long. And as you get closer to them, you can see that those thorns are 9, 10 inches, 12 inches long. If these things connected with you and wrapped around you, it would hurt real bad.
Oh, that's a knife.
You get closer to the door itself, a little bit of an incline up, coming towards this building, very minor. The main plant, massively thick stem, probably 4 or 5 feet in diameter to support this thing. This giant pod, now that you're up close to it, it's bigger than you. It's huge. Dark, like sickly poison green, shot through with those kind of reddish, purplish veins. Some of them are still not quite throbbing, but you can still see something pulsing under the skin here. It doesn't move, but you have the sense that if this thing was alive, it would just snap you right up. You look at the door, you see that the hole that B's arrow and the explosives punched it's not flush with the ground. It's maybe a foot or so off the ground. It's kind of like a big, jagged, slightly more than a semicircle, rough, ragged hole that's been punched. It's not like a person-sized door that you can just walk through, but you can very gingerly step over and through the hot metal, being very careful not to catch your skin or your clothes. You can only do it one at a time.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna try to shimmy our way in here as easily as possible, while trying not to. You know how, like, when you went on a hike, like, you tried to, like, if you ran into thorn bushes and stuff like that, like in the forest or whatever like that, and, like, you tried to, like, navigate your way as, like, gingerly around all of that stuff? Like, yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, it's very much the, okay, I'll step through and push the branch down and hold it while you come through.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Well, and if B wants to just start hacking at this stuff too, you know, she can take whatever pieces that she wants, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. B is free to take any kind of cuttings that she wants.
Awesome.
It's hot.
That's okay. B's hot too. B's gonna be taking little clips off, some leaves and stems, maybe part of a petal from one of the pods, and the grossest part is going to be wrenching open the pod, getting a bottle from their bag, and just, you know, getting some of that juice from in the pod.
It's real squelchy. It's real squishy and squelchy. Yeah. Lots of
Foley work.
Yeah.
Lots of squishy, slurpy noises. You see inside the pod, you see it's like shark teeth, like rows and rows and rows of shark teeth, stacked, and there are all those teeth that curve in and back, so that when it's biting things, it's pulling it towards it's down the throat, so to speak.
B is going to cut off like part of that jaw and package it and neatly and put it in their bag as well for research.
Smells real bad. Like there's rotten meat. There's chunks of meat in there.
We're in the middle of the desert. We're gonna be in the middle of an ancient prison full of riders. I was not expecting to smell good. Probably already smell like what? Molotovs and dirt.
Every one of these adventures we go on, somebody gets burped on and bled on. Now we've got...
What do you mean, somebody? My name is Mox. Somebody.
So...
one thing really
Yes,
quick.
please.
While B is doing this, and just as kind of like a standing thing until otherwise stated, if there are piles to search for salvage, Mox is going to be spearheading that.
Okay.
Trying to find items for us to keep, with a big emphasis on anything that he could use to eventually upgrade Argos into more...
More dog.
Just a more versatile drone.
Yeah.
Also, quick question for you.
Yes.
Mox did get the Watcher cybernetic upgrade. And I know that isn't an unlimited thing, but since I already have the ability through like my glow to watch the camera from Argos, can we say that I can switch on the eye to just view it like that, or do I have to look through the glow? I just wanted to ask.
I think that is a great custom mod that you made.
Cool.
In some downtime.
So just basically one eye on salvage piles and one eye having Argos, check out the room ahead of us and neighboring rooms so that we're not getting surprised.
Absolutely. I love that. So everybody has made their way in carefully. From the blueprints that Drall put together and has up on her glow, you are in kind of the garage bay area of this detention site. Very much bare bones, cement brick wall, warehouse, garage. It's maybe a 2-story building-ish. You got metal girders. There's lights, but they are flickering. The batteries and the power supply have not gone out, but a lot of the lights have just been broken and smashed in the fight. So we've got long shadows. 1 or 2 of these halogen lights are like dangling from an end and swinging in a breeze you can't really feel. So you've got these odd, eerie shadows. You get in and you're immediately struck by the silence. Being out in the desert, there's always noise. You're used to the sounds of life, even if it is a desert survival version of life. In this building, the only things making noises right now are you. And that's weird. Like, if you all stop and think for a second, like if you all pause as a group and take a beat, there's nothing. It's real quiet. And that heavy silence is very strange. Looking around, you see a couple trucks, like armored pickup trucks. You see a couple off-road vehicles like ATVs or motorcycles. They have all been smashed. Not unusable. Like, you couldn't jump in one and drive it right now, but they are not shredded and falling apart. So you came in the back door. You know that there's another door further ahead of you. That is the one that was from outside. You can see it was open, or at least partially open, but kind of like the hole had been plugged with rovs. And on that side of the garage, you can see that there are several rov bays. So there are the storage units and the equipment for preparing rovs, putting them together, that kind of thing. And that the door, the big roll-up garage door, it's almost like from the top, it was kind of pushed in and rolled down. So as you're in the building, you can see like about halfway up this big roll-up garage door, something from the outside shoved it in partially. So it's like the corner of it has been pulled down almost. But then that space, there's a bunch of Brav corpses plugging it up. In this space, as you're looking around, if we want to make a salvage check or an investigation check to look for some stuff off the shopping list, Mox, you can go ahead.
Whichever's higher, or is
which
preferred?
Whichever one you want. And then if anyone wants to roll to assist.
Sure. Do we just
Hell
roll
yeah.
Yes, please help.
20?
Yeah, for a roll to assist, just do give me a plain D20 roll.
Yeah, I only got 14.
My assist roll was an 8.
I got an 18.
Cool. So you are rooting around. in this stuff, taking it all in. It's a lot. Like, just seeing all of this stuff, this wreckage is a lot. Argos is kind of poking around and looking at things. Mox, you're almost off balance a little bit because you're still trying to get used to this. This is my eye. This is the dog's eye. Like, you've got that almost double vision. At one point, Argos turns around and looks at you, so you've got this like weird, I'm looking at myself.
I just kind of lose my balance a little for a second, like fall on my ass when he turns around because I feel like I'm spinning.
Right. So you're not used to it yet, but through all of this, you are able to see a body lying under one of the motorcycles. And it kind of looks like the motorcycle had been picked up and smashed repeatedly into this body, because there's the body is not all together anymore. It's not gooey. It's been years, but the skeletal remains, the armor, it's been smashed real good. But because of that smashing, you can easily see that this poor individual had some cyber arms that can be recovered. And Mox, you notice that there is not quite entirely a fully assembled, but easily enough to be repaired, a berserker unit inside this individual.
All right, one pair of arms should be easy enough, and fuck, it's gonna take a little work, but we could, there's at least a serviceable berserker unit inside this one, so whoever's keeping track, go ahead and check those off.
Wait, what?
2 cyber arms. Damaged berserker unit.
Got it. Sorry. I was trying to piece together what's happening here. It's like a whole other whatever that is.
Mox is also in this place. One, going to try to take a quick look around and see which of those armored trucks is the least damaged and would take the least work to get back running. And 2, with all this ROV equipment, any tech that can be used to either purchase or manually upgrade Argos would be dope.
Absolutely. One of the trucks is significantly less damaged. It would need, visually inspecting it, it would need some new tires. Logically, the power source is still fine because that's more or less infinite power. The chassis and the frame are smashed up, like someone took some sort of large blunt instrument to the doors and the windows. So you'd have to bang out some dents and replace some stuff, but you could absolutely, at some point, at least get it out of this building. Of course, you'd have to get the doors working. One of them is plugged up with dead robots, and the other one is kind of on fire.
Can we blow it up?
More fire.
More fire. That's the solution. The solution is more fire.
It's the peaceful Molotovs.
Peaceful Molotovs. As to the ROVs and the ROV equipment, there's a lot of it. Again, a lot of it is battle-worn and damaged over the years. It's been lying dormant for however long it's been since this happened. 5-10 years is the going estimate. So there's equipment there, there's stuff. It would just take a while to dig into it. On the far wall, so not the wall with the 2 giant garage doors, the wall that would be facing into the rest of the building, there are 3 sets of doors. And they look just like regular two-door push-open swing doors, like into a department store, but they're armored. None of them are hanging open, but there's 3 sets of doors, like equally spaced, one in the middle and then one on either side. And from the floor plans, you know that these go into the rest of that first floor of the detention center.
Bing, bang, bong, detention center. That way. And that one.
So if you're looking at it, you've got middle, left, or right. Which one do you want to do?
Do we want to try one and have Argos scout out another at the same time, or?
Be helpful.
Might as well.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Either way, we might as well just scrub this place.
Yep.
We could send. I was just gonna say we could send Umbra down the 3rd branch. Could have both of the drones going through, and then we could commit to one.
You know, just to really piss off the GM and make him scrub 3 ways simultaneously.
I mean, we do have 3 GMs in the group. 3 would be fine.
Maybe you know.
The one I narrate leads to...
Help, where does it lead?
How many throbbing things are down this hallway?
Oh,
Not nearly enough.
Not nearly enough. All right, so which door are the people going through? Left, center, or right?
Let's go right.
Okay.
I just
So,
unless
far-
anyone has a better method.
Thank you so much.
All right.
That seems
So
Paralysis.
from where you're standing, the far right door is over by all the Rav stuff, where the other outside garage door is. So you're over there. You're ready to go through. Argos and Umbra are by the other doors. They're able to push them open easily enough. You all start to walk through these doors. As you walk through them, you're in another very large room, a very big open room. From the blueprints that Drall has, there's one main front room, and then the back half of it was the garage bays where you have been. So you've moved into like the front half of the building. As you walk through, you can look over. Argos and Umbra are walking through their doors at the same time. So it's just into one big open room. In front of you, there is a big bank of elevators, and there's 4 elevators. But they are kind of an isolated bank of elevators. You can easily walk around them. You can see over them. They do not go all the way up to the ceiling. This is like where the elevators start. Walking around them or in between them, you can see forward to the front of the building from the inside, where those 2 large garage doors where the semi-trucks could back in to dump prisoners were. Those 2 areas are not walled off, but they are kind of cordoned and isolated so that the prisoners could be contained. You can see that there are posts for guards. There are banks of scanning and communication equipment. This is kind of where the main action would occur. If this was an office building, it would be like front reception. Again, bodies everywhere. Very decomposed at this point. So a lot of bones, a lot of cyber, a lot of armor that's just been kind of lying there. You can also see that both of those, looking ahead of you, massive garage doors that a semi-truck could back through are covered and wrapped with more of the vines. from the plants. None of them have reacted to you or are moving in any way to be threatening, and you are a fair bit of distance away from them. You're not like right on top of them or anything, but if you walked closer to them in their radius, you know that that would be dangerous. So you've got kind of elevators behind you, 2 big doors in front of you to the outside world that are all covered in vines. We could definitely do another salvage roll here or investigation check if we wanted to look for some stuff from the shopping list.
19.
All right, so that is going to be... Hold on a second. Okay, so in one of the bodies, since you had already seen it, Mox, you quickly see another one of these berserker units. So you can cross that off the list. And it strikes you for a moment, these could have been detention soldiers, or maybe these were prisoners that had berserker cyber units plugged into them. That's interesting.
And they got their asses kicked.
Yeah, someone did, whichever one it was. You also, in walking past one of the, for lack of a better term, desk areas where soldiers or the detention workers would have been stationed up, you see that there's a little cabinet that's kind of hanging open, and something catches your eye, and maybe Argos kind of pokes his nose in there to open it a little bit, and you see that there is a med kit. But as you had pointed out last time, we could just go to any shop and get a med kit. Why would Hicks be asking for a med kit from here? You immediately notice that this med kit is far more robust than the average med kit off the shelf. It's about twice the size. It's kind of got that pelican case look where you flip up the latches and then unfold the whole thing. It's got a little bit of a hiss when you open it. And you see that this thing is packed to the rim with far more gear than what would be in the average med kit that anyone would buy, any civilian. So
definitely taking a very quick stock of any of that, just in case we need it while we're here, because if one or two items are missing, how would he know that?
How would he know? You also see behind that there's another much smaller container, but it is labeled as an anti-venom, like industrial EpiPen kind of thing. So you can grab one of those as well.
All right, kids, we can cross both berserker units off the list. We got one of the 3 pairs of cyber arms. We got one of the med kits and one of the doses of anti-venom.
Happen to find anything else in these areas that is worth noting but not on the shopping list?
There are lots of scrapped weapons, lots of handguns, lots of rifles, lots of shotguns. You see that there's
scrapped.
Yeah, like bent, twisted kind of thing.
Is that something when one is using a berserker unit? Is one's strength enhanced to that level?
Certainly a possibility.
Okay.
Looking at some of these, and Galen, you can see this too. These were probably used as melee weapons at one point. Like, I'm gonna hit you over the head with this spent shotgun. Oh, like cartoon bent around your head kind of thing. Yeah, these weapons have been used for their original intended purpose and for more inventive purposes as well.
They probably just ran out of ammo and just started swinging.
This part of the building is also eerily quiet. The movement of the vines is very subtle. Like if you look at a vine or one of the pods, you don't really see it moving. But as soon as you look away, you've got that sense of movement out of your peripheral vision. Not like it's moving towards you, just that these massively thick carnivorous plants are not stationary. A little bit of movement, just reminding you that they are there if you get too close.
I have a really quick, just basic question because I've never handled C4, surprisingly. If I place it, how difficult is it, if unused, to remove it?
So if you place it, you would be placing it with like a charge, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I feel like that would be just an explosives demolitions check to put it where you want it to be to do what you want, but then also to undo to reclaim it at the very least, if not accidentally set it off. So, Drall, you have been looking at your glow. As we said last time, you were sketching, you were comparing notes with what Paperboy sent you, with what you were able to find about this place, what you and Galen put your heads together to figure out. So you are confident enough to say that the 4 elevators that you walked past, these are kind of the staff elevators. 2 of them would, let me rephrase that. These are the staff elevators to go down to either the staff floors or the prisoner floors. Because there was 2 sets of floors. There was the staff area where they would go, and then the prison areas. So these are what the detention staff could use to get where they need to go. In ahead of you, where the big front-facing garage doors are, where the trucks could back into, there are also massive elevators that the prisoners would just be offloaded, processed, and then thrown right into these like industrial super big elevators that would go down directly to the prisoner processing. So like they're processed into the building, they go down, and then that's where the actual containment and whatever else happens. You don't know what's below you exactly. You've got rough ideas, but that's the information you're putting together visually as you're looking at everything.
Okay, as she's putting this together in her mind, preparing herself before she communicates it to her friends, she's going to go over to Galen, and she's just going to cock her glow his direction and zoom in on both elevator sections. So I think this one goes straight down to prisoner, like we bypass all the other levels. This one, we have a little more freedom, it looks like, from these blueprints. So, I mean, we're doing pretty well on our salvage mission here so far. Got a big chunk left, but...
Where do we think the good doctor's lab would be for some of this stuff? Because that's where we really need to go. I don't know if are we going to need to go cell by cell, you think? Or we think we might be able to find some of it in his lab first? or a good purchase of it.
Oh, I would think that going straight to a lab is the place to go first and foremost. Isn't that going to be where we have the most shit?
I feel like that's
I mean,
where
I
we
don't
get
know.
a mother load of stuff, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been in a few labs. I've seen a lot of blueprints of labs, but never really delved. So, okay. Is it possible for me to look through the blueprints that I have on my glow to see if there's any sort of lab or set of labs that we can start to head to?
So, looking at the blueprints of what Paperboy sent you, a lot of the lower levels were question marks. However, based on his knowledge of typical detention facility practices, based on Galen's knowledge, it is most likely that the laboratory facilities were on the prisoner levels.
Closest to him, yeah. It would make sense if it's either on the prisoner level or the one right above it, because you don't want to have to transport prisoners too far back and forth, you would think.
Right. You do not have the specific blueprints to know for certain. But you do know that most likely the staff floors, there was probably an armory, and then there were living quarters with some medical facilities. Very typical. It doesn't make sense logically that anything on those staff floors would have anything to do with the prisoners, the experiments, or the doctors doing that work. That being said, gear, salvage, some of the medical stuff you're looking for, it also makes perfect logical sense that kind of stuff is there.
In the staff area or in the...
Yes.
Okay.
In the staff area.
We're kind of it sounds like we're a bit 50-50. It sounds like if we're thinking about it, we might be wanting to go down a couple of floors and just take it little by little, but if we want to go hit the mother lode and then work our way back up, because we could do that. Go deep and then come back up, you know what I mean?
I mean, I would personally vote that, just simply because I think we should scrub this place. People haven't been here, assuming in forever. We could salvage lots of things. So, I mean, I want to get my eyes on lots of shit and kind of piece together for myself what happened here. It's like a fun little mystery, right?
I mean, and Galen kind of looks around at all the dead bodies and everything, goes, yeah, definitely. Oof.
As you are looking around, you also notice that there are desks and banks of typical computer equipment that would have that would be all of the internal processing. So it would have all of the information on internal securities, communications internally and externally, records.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And while a lot of that stuff has been smashed in the brawls that happened however long ago, they're not unusable.
Seeing this, Mox would definitely go over and start trying to tap, 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 turn on, see if it has power still, see what we're going to have to do to get into the computer banks.
Sure. Do you have networks or electronics as a skill?
Electronics, yeah.
Why don't you give me a check?
22.
Okay. So you are used to assembling scrap to do what you want. You are used to finagling you find a station that seems to be functional, but the screen's all jacked up. So with a little bit of futzing around, you are able to plug it directly into your glow and use that display to see what's happening. You see a typical like corporate company directory. So it's like you're logging into the detention home screen for the facility, and you see like different options you can click on. You could go into prisoner records. You could go into security footage. You could go into communications. You see all these different options that you could just tap into.
All right, kids, we're in. What do we want to know?
And as I'm saying that, I'm already going to security footage.
Sure.
So Galen will come over to and try to take a hit off of that, so to speak. That way we can. Well, look, we can only
share. You don't have. You can ask. It's all right.
Right, but it's a little bit about the amount of footage we want to download, and he looks at the server racks and stuff like that. Like, hey, Drall, how much do you think this would fetch us if we bring back all the evidence?
I'm sorry, what? She's looking around at her body. She's watching Mox dial into this machine. This is completely foreign to her. She's not usually on this side of things. What? She holds up her glow with the blueprints. I have this. What?
So there's a couple things we can do here, and I look at Mox's glow, and I said, our good friend here is doing exactly what I would do first, and we're trying to find the security footage to know what the hell we're up against. But
okay,
I imagine there's a lot of people on the outside that would also like this information once we are done using it for our purposes, of course. How much do you think it probably fetch us a pretty penny on the outside, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, Mox, pass the duchy to the left-hand side once you're done with your portion of it, and I'll take a little bit of the bait so we can split up and not overload any one glow with too much. Because if I am correct, there is a lot of fucking information here.
I have a huge cloud. Just hook it up into there. Upload it. Suck it right up. Probably.
So yeah, definitely checking out the security footage. What else do we want to see, team, if we can get information on? I'm thinking if we can find inventory logs that lets us know, in addition to what was on the shopping list, what we might keep an eye out for, plus trying to, eventually Mox would want to try to push past this corporate veneer and see what else is lurking in here somewhere.
Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask, do you think the system would also be able to tell if there were any ROVs that were still able to be online? Like, functional ones?
I would imagine that they've probably got a status page. Could see if any are still up and running or connected.
Those and the turrets, I think, would be mighty helpful.
yeah, we could get the turrets going, yeah.
Starts immediately having the, just swiping from his glow over to Galen, the security footage, while he then starts trying to find the turret controls.
Galen's just going to start downloading it, and he goes, and another thing for the shopping list while you're in there, my good friend, the actual blueprints to the building would be fantastic if we know where everything's at.
Yes.
Because while I love the Paperboy and all, who knows what happened in the interim, and who knows if all of his information is 100% complete. I'd just like to know what we're walking into, is all I'm saying.
And with Galen saying that Mox is just,
hey, Drall, pull out your glow.
And is going to remotely connect her glow as well, so she can start going for the blueprints.
Oh, yeah. Bitchin'. Yeah.
All right. So this is very much the scene in any sort of sci-fi space movie where you're pulling up the logs on the abandoned ship, and like maybe half of them, when you click on them, are corrupted. So it's not like you can just click through Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Like you try to get into them. It's very scattered what you can find. Even though you do have access to it, the functionality glitches a lot. You might be in a screen and then suddenly it bounces you to somewhere different. Everything is just not working 100%.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How many entrances and exits were there out of this room that we're currently in?
All right, so there are the 3 doors you all came through.
Correct.
There are the 4 elevators.
Correct.
That are also behind you. So it was doors, elevator, where you are right now, which is like the big open area where all this equipment is. And then in front of you, the front of the building, 3 doors. 2 are the big, massive doors where the prisoners would be brought in. And then one of them, if you remember from the description, there was like that long armored hallway that would, like that corridor that would go between where the semis would park. That door. So that is a regular person door.
Is there any way we could move some of this equipment somewhere? This is going to take forever to get all this. This keeps bouncing me out of here. It might take me a couple hours to really get the information that we need, and I don't really want to be fit in a place where, I'm right in the middle of God knows what. Is there any way we could tuck this into an office or something while we work?
Well, Drall, how about you give me an investigation check?
That is going to be a lovely 12.
Cool. So you were focusing on finding the blueprints and kind of trying to overlap them with what Paperboy had sent you. As Mox is bringing up this point that you've got a wealth of information and you are kind of in a vulnerable spot where you are in your current investigation, you've got a pretty clear blueprint of the floor you're on now. And you've got a pretty clear understanding of the 2 staff floors below you. The first staff floor down is the armory. You've got of the elevators behind you, that there's 2 elevator bays that you can exit on, and then there's a large secure facility that would be like locked down where all of the ammo and gear would be kept, and then there's like, little DMV windows you can walk up to check out your gear kind of thing. And so someone would be staffed in there, be a couple staff in there to hand things back and forth and scan your badge or scan your chip, blah, blah, blah. So that's the first floor down. The next floor down are living quarters. So again, two of those elevators from the 4 banks behind you would come down here. There's 2 bays to go out of. This is labeled as living quarters, chow station, medical. All of that stuff is just on this floor. So the detention staff would probably be assigned there for whatever their shift is, and then this is where they would come down to rest, to eat, whatever. There's medical bays, so they would get fixed up if they needed it, all that kind of stuff. You also have, at this point, you've been able to suss out that there are 2 more floors even further down. They are the prison floors. It's not that the information doesn't exist, but just at this moment, you haven't pieced it together yet, exactly the blueprint of what's there. But you know that there are 2 more prison floors below you.
As I communicate all that information to the team, I'm also going to draw special attention to our list. And I'm going to say, so from the way I see it, our list includes some substrate armor as well as some anti-venom and med kits and shit. So I'm seriously thinking we should just down a level, check the armory, clean that up off our list, because I do love a nice concise list where you could like do the little checky thing or there's a crossy thing. So then underneath there, that's going to be the living and the meds. We can pick up the kits there maybe. And then there's just these 2 little like, who are you levels underneath that I'm pretty sure they're prison levels. Not 100%, don't quote me on that. But we could find some fun shit down there too.
And so with Mox asking about somewhere they could go, you all could go to be safe. You've got these 2 identified staff levels that while there's not a private office to go to, there are living quarters and facilities.
Yeah, and it even looks like there's like a little cafeteria style thing on this particular level too. So that's where I'd want to hole up, I think.
Well, I'm fine with heading down there. I mean, we're already in the system, so we can keep doing this work from anywhere that we maintain connection.
Yes.
Yeah, I say we keep it moving. If we need to, at the end, depending on how much we need to load in the bagel, we could just grab the racks with us and just walk out of here. That's another way that we could look through all of this stuff, too. We know what we've gotten, what we've come for the most part, to get further down, so we could always just grab these on the way out as a little cherry on top, I guess I could say.
Ooh.
I say we go down to the armory floor. Let's go have a little fun down there, hopefully.
1, 2, 3, 4, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy.
All right. So if you look back at the bank of elevators, from where you're standing, from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4, which elevator do you want to grab?
Well, I think the first one goes down to the armory, correct? The first 2?
So you know that the first floor beneath you is the armory. The next floor beneath that is the staff living and medical center.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 2 floors below that are the prison floors.
Right, so we need to take the elevator that goes down to those floors, not the prison floors. Yeah. And the vines aren't covering the elevator, right?
As you look at them, the 4th, so the one all the way on the right,
okay,
is covered. The vines are like coming out and pulling the door apart a little bit, so it's like they're reaching.
That's not good.
Out of the door, so no. they're probably down in that shaft.
That is not good. They don't cover any of the first couple elevators though, right?
Nope. 1, 2, and 3 are fine.
Okay, so Galen's gonna pull his gun out, just in case.
Probably a good idea.
Heard that one before. And considering that we fought vines on this, he's gonna pull the shotgun out. And so we're going to just make our way over to the elevator and see if it works first. I'm just going to hit the button and hope that if we can't, we can try to hotwire this motherfucker and make it work.
You're going to the first one on the far left?
Farthest away from them damn plants as I possibly can get.
Farthest away from the plants. Okay. So yeah, you hit the button. You hear grinding and kind of groaning, that scraping of metal on metal. But after a couple beats, the doors open. Not as smoothly as they once did. They're scraping apart a little bit. But the elevator opens, lights flicker inside haphazardly, making those long shadows kind of jump back and forth.
Galen turns around and looks at everybody and is like, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Nothing. Let's go.
Galen steps inside and politely holds the door open button.
All right, so there is a control panel there, and there's one button that says down.
Okay, well, once everybody gets in, we'll mosey our way down then, just to see what we can do here.
Where'd it go?
Well, it should go down towards the armory. If what Drall has given us is correct, then we're headed down to the armory. Yeah, that.
All right.
It's look, I'm just looking for toys at this point.
All right, let's do this.
All right, let's head it on down.
All right, so the door again scrapes closed, like it's off its track, like it had been hit by something, knocked aside a little bit.
Weird elevator music. Not quite.
There's none.
It's like,
Nope.
yeah, it's weird. Just little metallic, I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
For whom the bell tolls.
And the elevator starts to descend, kind of stuttering, kind of shaking a little bit. And it goes down. And it goes down. And it feels like it's taken a little bit longer than you think it should to go down what should have been one floor to the armory. It comes to a rest, that little at the bottom of an elevator shaft. And again, the doors grind and scrape open. And this is not the armory. What's in front of you through this door is the remains of a war. You see ahead of you a low wall. You see behind that an open, kind of gaping shaft of a larger industrial elevator. You see those large pods and vines kind of strangling that area. If you are, checking the corners before you've exited the elevator, looking around, you see that this must be the first floor of the prisoner processing. So this is the first prison floor.
Should we go back up?
Yes.
This don't seem like where we wanted to go.
Nope. Looks like we missed the party, though.
We can come back here after we've found the armory, right?
I'm assuming the lights are off on this floor, or are they on?
It is that thing where most of the lights are broken, and the ones that are on are spluttering in and out. What you can see when some of the lights swing back on for a moment, it's real bad. Like chunks of stuff on the walls you're not sure exactly what it is from this distance. You see a couple, you see some makeshift weapons here and there, even over by this elevator. They appear to be melee weapons. You see like shards of metal that have been ripped off, jammed through bone that someone was using as a club. On some of the walls, you can see remains of bodies that were stapled or pinned to the wall with something. This was a grisly scene. Luckily, it's not gooey anymore. But
On
it's
that
it's
note,
real bad.
Without stepping a toe off of the elevator. Just from what I can see, can I have a general or make a general guess at how long ago this happened?
You can make a very accurate guess at how long this happened because some of the files you pulled up are dated. And
last entry.
The last entry is 7 years ago.
All right. Can we go? If I think up. I don't like it here.
Up button.
Just like.
All right. So yeah, you can go back up. Again, the doors strain to close, but it takes you back to where you want to go. They open up, and you are back where you were before.
I guess we'll try the next elevator.
Holy fucking shit.
Mox gets off the elevator and is just like hands on knees. Like one leg goes out from underneath him, his non-robotic one, as he is just on the verge of passing out from what he just saw in there.
Wasn't pretty, was it?
Drall having the moment, because I had to go potty, sorry about that. The moment this scene became visible, she and turned her back, tried to look away as much as she could. Why?
That is the question that we're going to have to figure out, ain't it?
I can at least say that the records that we pulled were from 7 years ago, so this was a long time back, but
I tell you what, ain't none of us want to spend any more time here than we got to. I'm going to go back down to that level. I got a shopping list. We know what we need to do.
Can we do the armory first? With weapons and armor? Come on, man!
I've got weapons and armor on me as much as I can carry. Y'all go do that.
I'm willing to bet you can carry more.
It's entirely possible.
No, my character sheet's filled up.
I mean, listen. If y'all ain't gonna be able to hang down there, I completely understand.
Look, you don't have to phrase it like that.
No, but it's.
You're not going down there alone.
Absolutely not.
Anybody want to come with me?
I can go with you.
I'm going to have Argos go as well so that I can watch and use the Watcher recording feature just to record like 20 seconds of the hellscape while trying not to process it mentally.
Yeah. All right. I love this. This is great.
Split the party, nothing ever goes wrong when you split the party.
All right. Okay, so Galen, B, Argos, and Umbra are going to go back down to the prison floor.
Yep.
And Dog, Drall, and Mox are going to go to one of the other elevators and try to find the armory.
I was planning on waiting for them to come back up, but that's up to the two of you. Because I didn't want to go where they didn't know we were going.
That's fair.
It's up to you guys.
Can you not communicate with us through Argos?
I mean, I can communicate to you through the glows.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
Yeah.
Unlike when y'all were in that big silo, your glows work fine. Full signal.
I say, I mean, look, we know where y'all are going to be. We got the blueprints right here. And he pulls it up.
Alright, fine.
All right.
All right.
And Galen's going to turn on the flashlight on his shotgun and stuff like that. so we have a little bit more light when we head back down there.
Bee's gonna turn on the find my location thing on their glow.
Yeah, so they can track us the entire way. Yeah.
Well, we got 2 other elevators to try. Which one are we going to take?
Why complicate it? Just do the one right next to it.
Fair enough.
All right.
I don't know.
And Mox is also going to pull out a nicotine patch and slap it on. Even though he really wants the cigarette, he doesn't want, to give location away.
All right. So, again, slow arrival. You can hear the difficulty of the mechanics and the scraping of metal, but the door is open. There's nothing in the elevator. There is, again, a down button, but there are 2 floors that you can pick from. 1 and 2. And they're waiting for you.
1?
Okay.
What one was armory? Yeah. I mean, that's where we're going.
So the 3 of you hit that first button. Very short trip. The doors slide open, and you were looking at the armory.
Yeah, we did it.
So ahead of you, you see that the section, it's all partitioned off. It is behind that wired glass, so the glass that has the wire running through it, as well as being behind reinforced bars. It's kind of like a big U shape. The whole back of the room is behind this glass and bars. The lights are better here. It's not fully lit, but it's not like barely lit. It's right in the middle. Easy enough to see without any problems. It kind of sucks that it's easy enough to see because you can see that all of the glass has been smashed through, even this reinforced wired glass. It kind of looks like it's been smashed from inside out towards you. Without exiting or without going far from the elevator, you can see that there are racks for armor, racks for ammunition, racks for different types of weapons. Most of them appear to be empty or having been ransacked at some point. You can see a handful of what used to be bodies in that armory area. A couple of them are like tossed through the shelves. A couple of them are in a pile in a corner. That kind of thing. Again, no gory remains, nothing gooey, but there's chunks of stuff that hasn't fully decomposed yet.
After the other place, this is almost peaceful.
So the armory is like the whole backside of the room. So like a big U shape along both walls and along the back. So there were 2 manual entry doors, one on either side. And they were obviously very secure, that you would have had to badge in with your chip. Both of them are hanging from their hinges. I would like the 2 of you, because Drall is temporarily stunned by the violence, to give me an investigation check.
I really hope you roll well.
Yes. Dog rolled a 23.
Ooh, let's go with that.
Perfect. Dog, as you are looking around, taking this in, you can see that some of the bodies were clearly detention troops. There are remains of body armor. Just from their position, it makes sense that these were detention staff, scraps of clothing. But there's also bodies that are clearly not detention people. You see some remains of some cybered out bodies. You see some what were probably at one point prison tattoos kind of thing. So you're putting the pieces together here that this was the combat between the prisoners who had been experimented on and the detention staff. While you are taking this in, you hear a rustling. And there's a flash of movement that you see out of your periphery, and you get the sense that something is coming towards you.
Guys, I hear a rustling, and I just saw a flash of movement. Something's coming towards us.
And let's go to the other group. So, Galen and B, you are braving the elevator down to the prison floor. The door opens again on the grisly scene as you look around with a little bit more scrutiny. At this point, it's even worse than you saw it before. There are clearly bodies that have been strung up from the rafters and the lights. There's clear evidence of limbs that have been torn asunder. It's real bad. Like, this was just a brutal street fight kind of brawl. Yeah, it's very stinky too. Ahead of you, you see the two main large industrial elevators. Having put the pieces together from the blueprints, you know that these are those two huge elevators that the prisoners would just be dumped onto and then brought directly down to this level. You see that one of the elevators is just swarming full of these massive plant pods and vines. And that is immediately ahead of you. You're not in danger at this moment as you have walked out, but it is kind of right in front of you and you would have to make your way around it.
Galen.
Yeah.
Galen, do you think we should go and skirt the perimeter of the room first?
I'd rather not want to blow one of these things away yet if I don't have to.
I feel like we have to be quiet for some reason, and I don't know why.
You want to fuck with them and just fire a shot up in the sky?
Yeah, you want me to give it old yeehaw yoop too? Because I can.
All right, let's be real cautious on this one, and let's just go counterclockwise, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna follow you and watch our behinds.
All right. Argos, you picking up anything?
So, let's have Argos make an investigation check. So as we did last time, we can use Mox's investigation plus 1d8. for Argos as a drone. Umbra can do that as well, if you want.
Just a 13 for Argos. Wait, let me make sure I understood how you wanted me to roll that. Is it just a 1d8 plus the bonus, or a d20 plus a d8 plus the bonus?
That one, the second one. You're still doing a regular skill check, so the
Then yes,
D20.
yeah. It
Okay.
was just 12.
So D20, D8 plus bonus.
Yes.
I got a natural 20,
Whew.
a 1, and then I have a +1 to investigation.
Awesome. Umbra for the win. So Galen and B are walking very slowly, trying not to disturb this plant, trying to suss out their surrounding, figure out the best way to go here. Argos and Umbra are a little bit ahead of them, trying to look around, figure out what's going on. Within just a few seconds, Umbra picks up on something. She's got that look as if like a dog would have a scent, but she doesn't run off, but she's clearly picked up something on her scanners. And a lot of information comes back to your Globee. You've got a great visual, very clear video of the density and spread of these vines on this elevator ahead of you. You know that with what you saw before, with what you're seeing now, it would be very difficult to skirt the vines the way you're going, just because the range of the vines, it would be so hard to get to avoid them. You would guess that if you could outrun them, you'd have a shot, but it'd be challenging. Umbra also picks up on some heat signatures ahead of you.
Do they have a shape?
Oh, humans. Umbra sees 5 heat signatures a little bit further down this room here. It appears to be that they are dragging or pulling something big behind them. And now that Umbra has picked it up, you can hear some of that scraping noise. Like you'd heard it before, but you hadn't necessarily connected it to people doing a thing. You just thought it was some of the background noise of this facility or maybe the plants. But now you can hear them doing that. It makes sense what that noise was. They are moving away from you further down this long hall.
Okay. As soon as B sees this, they're gonna turn quietly, put a hand on Galen's shoulder to stop moving, and then go, Galen, I need you to look at this. We have company down here, and we also have a forest. And I think we need to be real careful. And show the glow.
How in the hell are they walking through without getting attacked?
I don't know.
As the two of you are puzzling this out, we will switch back to the other team. What you see coming towards you is a roughly humanoid figure. It appears to be very thin and emaciated. if you would think almost that if someone was charging you to attack you, they would probably be yelling or making some sort of noise, but they're not making any noise. In almost pure absolute silence, they are running towards you, holding 2 bladed clubs of some sort. It's happening very quickly. So I will let's make a quick initiative check here. This is just to see who reacts first.
Uh, 15 per dog.
I saw 10 for Mox. What do we got for Drall?
6.
Cool. So, Dog, your instincts kick in. You are first on the draw. You're all kind of clustered right in front of the elevator. You see this figure rushing at you from one of the kind of piles of stuff, of bodies in the back. You can act first. Would you like to take a shot, take a swing, tackle it? What do you want to do?
I mean, logically, I'd like to be quiet, but Dog is pressed and not logical. So with the shotgun at the ready, having recently used the buckshot, that's what he'd do. He'll just kind of at them in their direction, blind fire just twice. Boom, boom.
Perfect. Give me 2 attack rolls.
All right.
Let's go, Dog.
Thanks, Dog. Wait, okay. Question for attack rolls on that. It's D20 and then what modifier?
Shotgun should be agility.
Agility? Ooh, bad. Okay. The first shot is going to be a 16.
Okay.
And then the second shot will be a 5. So.
All right. So the first one does connect.
Yeah.
Why don't you give me a location roll?
That would be a 4, so it looks like to the body. Is that correct?
Yep. And damage, please.
All right. That would be 9 damage.
Awesome. So,
and I'll say,
your
scoosh it out, skid out, shoot.
So you kind of react instantly, pull your shotgun up, shoot at this guy, this figure. You see that the first shot connects, and that then he kind of reacts and spins out of the way of your second shot. So you can tell he's got a degree of agility.
Like a figure skate, like pirouette? What?
Yes.
Like
yes, they ice dance out of the way.
Or like I hit him and he spun like, and I missed it because of the...
Yeah, more like... Yeah.
Okay. I just had to know. I don't know in this campaign if we'll encounter like mutant figure skaters, maybe. I don't know. So I have to check.
Anything's possible.
And you're welcome for that gift in case you want it.
Thank you so much. I'm going to remind myself of that for when we play our ice level, which is bound to come up.
Oh, God. Is this the water temple?
Yeah, we got to find the boots so we sync well enough. All right, so Dog has taken these 2 shots. The figure spins out of the way. Again, even after being shot, no audible reaction to what has happened. And as it spins out of the way of your second shot, it, instead of continuing its charge towards you, it breaks its stride, turns with that movement, and runs toward the wall. So it runs laterally. And it appears to dive towards the wall and disappears.
But it just, it like that.
Not like poof of smoke disappears.
Y'all see that or not? Like,
but it does exit your line of sight visually. There's a little bit of a shadowy corner over there, and you don't see it anymore.
What the fuck?
coward.
Don't taunt it. Just keep an eye open for it while I try to search around here, see if we can find anything that we're looking for.
All right, babe.
When you say that, Drall's gonna pull up her, her combat shotgun. She's gonna activate the tactical flashlight she has on the top of it. She's gonna shine it into that corner immediately.
And so you see that there is just a hole in the wall.
Oh shit! It's a door. I mean, not like a door, but like it's a door now.
It is clearly a hole that has been smashed into this wall.
So, who wants to go through the ominous hole in the freaky place?
How about we search these bodies that are here first?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay. Dog was starting to bow up and then was like, yeah, okay, never mind. That's a good idea. I should do that.
Just watch my back for a second.
All right. Good back.
All right. So
Thank you, babe.
how detailed a search do you want to do? Do you want to make this a just precursory, I'm going to glance through and see what's what? Do you want to take your time and really try to find anything that could be there?
I'm not like trying to perform an autopsy necessarily on these bodies, but cybernetic arms and legs should be easy enough to notice immediately.
Absolutely.
Seeing if they have any sheets of substrate armor that could be salvaged off of them or anything like that. If I don't, I don't even need to search for a berserker kit, but if I immediately see signs of one, I may try to pull a third because that might be nice to have. But yeah, those are the main things I'm looking for right now.
Cool. So it's gonna take 5-10 minutes to start rooting through all this stuff. A lot of the shelves inside the armory have been knocked over, so you're kind of moving things around to try to find things. But you are able to locate a handful of items without too much trouble. You are able to find another of the pair of cyber arms. Now, this is not off of one corpse. This was like a left off of one and a right off of another, so they're a mismatched set. And you're able to find one of the pair of legs that you were looking for.
When Mox does, he like holds one of the cyber legs up to his cyber leg, and it's saying there like,
Look, Mama.
If we find extra, right?
you gotta check.
You never know.
While that is going on, while that team is searching, we will switch back over to Galen and B. So you have just seen bodies, heat signatures actively moving. You've got the plants in front of you.
Galen, I'm gonna send Umbra up to see if we can get a better view of what or who these people are, and also see how they're getting past the plants.
Not as good an idea as any. Let's do it.
What
He
should we
just
do in
kinda-
the meantime?
He kind of keeps it steadied up from there. And he's like, we're going to back away real slowly.
All
We're going to
right.
give ourselves enough room that just in case it pops off, we can get back in that elevator.
All right. So B sends Umbra up closer to the humanoids. While watching the feed from Umbra, do you need me to roll like an investigation or stealth or anything for that?
Why don't you give me a stealth roll for Umbra?
I have a question actually, because I specifically, when we made Umbra, said that she was made for stealth or with stealth in mind, but B doesn't have stealth.
All right.
B is explodey.
Okay, so for the sake of this roll, roll for me a d20, a d8, and your agility.
Okay. All right, I got a 13 plus 2 plus 2. 17.
Umbra vanishes into the shadows. Visually, from where you are, you cannot see her, but you can see her camera feed. You see her edging forward. The first thing you see is that she is very carefully sidling around the plants. You watch the video and you see that once or twice the vines and the pods almost move in her direction, but then keep moving. And it suddenly strikes you that as carnivorous entities, they're probably looking for organic matter. And that makes you feel good because Umbra is not organic matter. And you feel a little bit more confident as she slides past them and proceeds further into the darkness ahead of, well, both of you, but also her. She is focused on heading towards the heat signatures that she saw, but still through the camera, you are able to see the grisly scene and the remains. It is only getting worse at this point. You also see that she gets close to the figures. There are 5 individuals matching up with the heat signatures that you saw. 2 of them are very broad-shouldered, muscular, but it kind of seems like they're also covered in like tumorous, cancerous growths on their bodies and their faces. The other 3 figures are small, skinny, emaciated, miserable looking. But they are all working together. And what they are dragging is like a big tarp on the ground, and it is covered in bits of tech. You see cyber arms sticking out of this pile. You see bits of computers. You see screens. You see just big coiled up bundles of fiber optic cables and wires. It is all technology that they are dragging away from you towards the end of this long room. as Umbra gets carefully closer, you see through her cameras, and you have control over these, so you're able to zoom a little bit as she's looking. You can have her stop for a second and kind of lean around to get a good shot, zoom and enhance for a moment. You can see that what they are moving towards is a large shaft at the end of the room, a large opening in the floor that is lined with stairs winding down, like the metal girder stairs, catwalk kind of stairs. And over that space in the floor is a big bridge, and you can see through the camera that it is armored and there are guard posts. Galen, looking at this, while you have not been in this facility, while you've not been in a lot of detention black sites, your knowledge as a Leo, as someone who worked in corporations, this is kind of making sense to you. This floor is processing. All of the rubble that has been smashed through this fight that Umbra has walked past, that you and B are kind of holed up against in the far corner. This was all processing. So this is where the prisoners would come in, scrubbed down, scanned, equipment, cuffs would be locked onto them, that kind of thing. And then at the far end, there is just a big opening with stairs going down to the prison level below. And that bridge over that opening is where the detention guards would be staffed up, essentially looking down at them to, one, force them down, and then two, keep them down. So this makes perfect sense to you. This is
even worse because they were processing people while this went on.
Yeah.
These poor motherfuckers never stood a chance because they didn't even get out of cuffs, I bet.
So, I'm guessing then that this is floor 3.
Yeah. And there's a fourth one down below.
Logic would dictate to both of you that the floor below is the prison cells and the medical facilities. Process of elimination.
Which also means that we do have people living here. Probably on floor 4. Galen, what say you on staying down here and trying to follow them, or should we wait and go back up and rejoin?
And while you two are debating what to do, we will switch back to the other party. So you have...
Mox is just saying there,
Shit. Broken. Shit.
A lot of the stuff you're looking through is absolutely destroyed. The tolls of time, time has taken its toll on it, along with whatever fight happened. As you look at it more, Dog, you can see this as well. Drall, this is a little bit unfamiliar territory to you, but even you can see that this stuff has been not just scrounged over and gone through, but it's like someone has been at it with tools to rip out certain parts of it and throw other parts away. So you may find a cyber arm that is completely useless, but not just because it's broken, because you can see the evidence that someone has taken a rudimentary tool and ripped chunks of it apart and then thrown the rest out. Ripped off 2 fingers and thrown the rest down, or ripped out a weird joint and thrown the rest down. All of the gear you find, the armor, some of the old weapons, it's all been gone over in this very random, haphazard, chaotic way.
As she starts to kind of piece together what's going on here, she's flashing her light on the pile that Mox is digging at this corner, this guy, that guy. I think those guys have been here for a while, and this, as she flashes her light, might be how they've been getting by. This sucks.
And Drall, as you are playing your light around, looking at things specifically, you shine your light over a corner of the wall that you hadn't looked at before, just because you've kind of been focused on what's going on. And you notice that something has been smeared on the walls. And at first, it's just like handprints, just a mess of some sort of dark substance. But then you see that there's actually words in this mess. And some of them are backwards. It's just a mismatch of letters. It's like just kind of rambling. It's not like someone wrote it's like someone was writing a sentence, but they were writing it in a ridiculous, whacked out way that doesn't make sense when you read it, but it made sense so that when they were writing, they were trying real hard. They were trying their best, and things were just getting mixed up. But in this nonsense of scribbling and scrawling, you do pick out a couple words that seem to string together logically. You see a phrase, death of flesh. You see sacred chrome. Slumbering savior. And approaching doom. And again, it's not like this is all in a sentence, a singular sentence that you can follow. You see these words repeated over and over amidst this jumble of phrases and pictures and scribbles that just are like a fever dream of communication. But you do see those phrases.
Guys? And she shines her flashlight in such a way that it can get on most of the wall and spread out a bit. And then she's going to turn and look at them. I think this place has got its own thing going.
And as you all look at that, we will end this episode and wait till next time.
Why?
Wow. What the fuck?
That was episode 14. Thank you, everybody, for listening and watching. We appreciate you. Thank you for being here in the chat. Thank you for dealing with our balloons and fireworks and technical gremlins. Who knows what was going on tonight? It's wild. Thank you, future audience on the podcast. I don't know if this will be edited in post or if you get to hear this version of it. It's fun. Thank you for listening. Overall, next Tuesday may or may not be a show that is still being decided. Stay tuned for more information about the newest Identico actual play, which will be coming soon.
Yeah, I'll clarify. Chaos Incorporated Wrapped. If you haven't seen the wrap, go check it out on our YouTube channel. We have both the ending of the show, which was very dramatic and awesome. Several people went out with a bang. And then we had a cast wrap that we did last episode that is also up on our YouTube channel, so you get to see and hear from everybody up there. And then for the next version of that show, keep an eye out on our socials and everything like that. We'll give you all the information in plenty of time. But we are planning all of this good stuff behind the scenes. So we will be back with you all here very soon. But just kind of keep an eye on everything. Keep an eye on the Discord. If you're not a member of the Discord, what are you doing? What are you doing with your life? Go join the Discord. We'll tell you everything there before we tell anybody else out there in the social media world and stuff like that. So come join us. It's a fun community. We have a writer's room and everything, so you can come join us and have a little bit of fun. Yeah.
And then, of course, we will return in 2 weeks to see what is going on with our crew and what's going to happen next. It is time to say goodbye, so let us hear from our lovely cast, who they are, where they are, what's going on. Let's start with Mallo.
You can find me everywhere at the Mallo Man. We have a lot of things to talk about when it comes to Identico for the rest of the year, so keep an eye on both Discord and the socials. We have some announcements to be making very soon, including the new shows and stuff like that, but it goes beyond that. But I won't tell you any of that now. Intrigue, haha. Otherwise, stay up with us at Identico and at Humanoid Games. We'll let you know about everything else up there. So, thank you for watching.
Wild.
Yes, hello, it is me, Wildling011, just about everywhere. Yeah, I do stuff. If you're in the area, you can come and see the stuff that I do at work at the Bellevue Arts Museum here in a couple of weeks. Other than that, I guess I just want to say thank you for the bits and the subs today. Necrontier, Anonymous, Grandpa Joe, Thousand Faces. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you guys around here on the socials and in the future.
Pete.
Hello. Thank you for joining us. Hi. Please be nice to yourself. Things happening. Identico is good. You can follow me in all updates at the Mallo Man on all the socials. Be nice to yourself. I don't know. It's still winter. It's dark outside and it's cold. Be good. Yeah.
Lauren.
I'm Lauren. I'm on the internet. Trying to learn how to function as a normal human being in society. Results are pending. But if you want to try to figure out how I'm going about that, I'm on 95% Lauren on Instagram, Thousand Faces Cosplay. I'm here. I'm at Misty Mountain Streaming. I'm all over the place. I'm probably in your closet. Don't check the...
And Ethan.
The other half of Thousand Faces Cosplay, please do check out on Saturday, Misty Mountain Streaming. We will be having our next episode of The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Good, weird things are happening, so check that out. Also, on our own Twitch, Thousand Faces Cosplay. Just keep an eye open because we're going to start doing some TTRPG content there as well, with our first one-shot coming up in the next couple weeks, where everyone is playing kobolds. So keep your eyes open for that.
Yeah.
Fun. What was the old kobold from 3.5 that could just rule the world?
Pun?
Yes, there it is. Sorry, I forgot. Oh, the good old days of 3.5.
Breaking the game.
Oh, no.
And I'm on the socials at the Caleb G. You can find me right here for the new show, here and there for Farm to Fable, and taking space in the archives of the RPG Academy. That is it for today. See you next time. Same cyber station. Please take care of yourself. Get some sun, take your meds, drink your water, eat some food, do something nice for yourself. I would say go out and touch some grass, but it's too cold. So watch a video of some grass. I don't know. Relax, take a bath, get a blanket, do something. We love you, and we'll see you next time.